Let's catch up with the blogger to the Nation and columnist with the Daily Telegraph, Tim Blair. Now, good to talk to you, Tim. I tell you what, you'd need a lot of Trade Commissioner jobs to hand out if you wanted to give everybody who gets kicked out of a job in the New South Wales government a decent gig overseas. They are falling like flies.
That's extraordinary, isn't it? I loved Johannes Leek's cartoon. You know, he just happened to be the best mate. That,
yeah, the best mate for the gig. Job.
Exactly, the brilliant line. But it might well be that no rules or guidelines were actually broken in any kind of legal sense in the Barilaro case. But in a way, it's almost worse. It's like this is how they operate. It's this closed loop.
Yeah,
of mates all just handing out the gigs.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. And I thought the most telling comment today from the New South Wales Premier Dominic Perrottet was one I'll show you in a second, where he just, in hindsight, he realises that perhaps he should have arced up about this. Have a look.
I think John said yesterday that he wished he didn't apply, and obviously, you know, if I had my time again, I would have asked him not to.
Yeah, absolutely. He said he's putting his hand in for a $500,000 job in New York. You might have been a wise move as Premier to say, hey, mate, best you not put in for this one.
Or just give it a while. Just give it a bit of a rest. Yeah. Don't pack your desk at Parliament and jump on a plane to New York. Just, you know, sit back, let things settle, and then jump. Because
maybe do a couple of weeks' work at Vinnie's or something for a while, you know, and maybe help out somewhere for a while before jumping on the gravy train.
Absolutely. Just cool your jets, man, I think is the phrase, the children use. Speaking
about cooling your jets, we know Grace Tame was very critical and nasty towards former Prime Minister Scott Morrison, but she's had a real crack at the current Parliament here. Let's have a look at this Instagram post. She says it must be such a slog for these poor old elected ableist toffs to breathe in there for all the privilege stifling the Parliament. We'll happily go back to ignoring your echo chamber of whitewashed white noise if that's what you'd prefer. She objects to them being elected, Tim. I mean, what's the problem? She objects to them being white, a lot of them, even though more of them are Indigenous than at any time before. I mean, she just sounds pretty angry.
I think what she's saying there is that there hasn't been any recent updates on her Google News alerts for the words Grace Tame. So I think she's just having a swing for the sake of it. It's pretty incoherent. When you're talking about a parliament that's got greater Aboriginal representation than any in history, and slamming it as using all these white abuse terms, she's just seems a little bit upset for some reason.
Yeah, no, it's pretty ugly stuff, and now they're going to have to deal with it because Albo's been trying to get very, very close to her, likes her support. Now she's going to lash out, as you say, because that's part of her shtick. Now, talking about someone else who hates a lack of attention, that's the former president of the US, Donald Trump. It's not very hard for him to drum up some attention. I showed this at the top of the program, but you've got to have a look at this again. I mean, it's what you would say if you spotted your doctor in the crowd. Have a look.
He was the White House doctor. He was a great doctor, you know. He was an admiral, a doctor, and now he's a congressman. I said, which is the best if you had your choice? And he sort of indicated doctor because he loved looking at my body. It was so strong and powerful. But he said, I'm the healthiest president that's ever lived. I was the healthiest. I said, I like this guy. I don't know who the hell he is at the time.
Honestly, you got comedians want to hold up Trump's severed head, but Trump, he just loves looking people love looking at his body.
He's great at tormenting them. They take him all so literally as well.
Yes, yes.
It's a joke against himself, like so many of the things that he says and does, and they all go berserk. I mean, those comments at CPAC in the US have been denounced as a fascist call to arms and. Oh man, it's crazy. So, and now you've got 100 FBI goons showing up at Mar-a-Lago. 100 is by one estimate. So it's a little bit of overkill. You'd only do that if you thought you were going to face some sort of armed resistance. Trump wasn't even there.
That's incredible.
It was extraordinary.
And they still haven't raided Hunter Biden to see what he's got, but they're raiding.
Well, they don't even need to raid Hunter Biden. We've all seen the evidence. Now it's just a matter of getting the warrants out and preparing a nice jail cell for him.
Well, meanwhile, can you talk us through the current president and just how he's going? Have a look at these pictures again of him getting off the chopper and just getting the jacket on and walking away seems to be a bit of a challenge. Here he is. Which way am I going? I mean, what is the problem here, do you think?
There's apparently a very light breeze. That's all it takes to take Joe out of functioning reality. There's issues with that. In the meantime, keep your eye on the spectacles, keep your eye on the Ray-Bans. They're just hanging on there, just hanging on. And no, I think they've gone somewhere.
Here they go, here they go.
Where are they, Joe?
Oh,
there they go.
Busted the Ray-Bans. See, now the trouble, I have some sympathy about losing the glasses because I've discovered this is what happens when you wear masks, when you have to wear them on planes or whatever. But the question then is, why is he standing out there in the sunshine wearing a bloody mask?
Next to his wife. He wears masks outside and takes them off when he's indoors and in the close company of other people. What on earth?
I don't think he's the healthiest president we've ever seen. Thanks for joining us, Tim. Appreciate it.
Good on you, mate. Take it easy. Speak soon.
Tim Blair there. You can read his stuff in the Daily Telegraph on Mondays. You can read him on the blog 24/7. Don't miss it.